So I'd like to thank all of you students for coming to our talk today. We have a wonderful talk that's going to be led by Dr. Erica Barr, who is the director of the NIH Community College program. So let me just give you a little background about the community college program, and well, she'll go into more detail. But she's been running it for about 13 years. I think that might have been since its inception. She can fill us in on that. Dr. Erica Barr started her education as a bio undergrad in North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Following that, she's also taught sixth grade for a couple of years. Then she returned back to school, earned her master's in teaching professional biology, I guess. She'll fill us in on that. At that point, she did a very interesting program, and I'll let her tell you about that. But she's also earned her PhD in biology from Clark Atlantic University in North Carolina. Is that North Carolina, right?
It's in Atlanta, Georgia, Jill.
Oh, Atlanta, Georgia. See, I told you I'd messed up on that. Okay, so without further ado, I want to welcome Dr. Erica Barr to our conversation.
Thank you, Jill. It is definitely a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's always great to talk to the students about all of the opportunities that we have at NIH.
So let's start right at the beginning. What is the NIH?
Okay, that's a great opening question. So the NIH is National Institutes. A lot of times people say National Institute, but it is National Institutes of Health. We are a federal agency. We focus on biomedical research. Our main campus is in Bethesda, Maryland. And the reason why we say National Institutes of Health is because we are comprised of 27 different institutes and centers. Many, I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the, I guess, more popular ones would be like the National Cancer Institute, the National Institute on Allergy and Infectious Disease, which Dr. Fauci is the director of. And we also have the NIH Clinical Center, which is the largest research-based hospital in the world. An interesting fact is that all of the patients who are treated at the NIH Clinical Center are a part of a research protocol. So they receive treatment free of charge. And, you know, it's with the hopes of definitely healing and treating the various diseases that they may be experiencing. And so that's us. Like I said, our main campus is in Bethesda, but we do have some smaller campuses. We have campus in Baltimore, Maryland, in Frederick, in North Carolina, as well as Arizona and Montana. So we have some smaller campuses, but our main campus is in Bethesda, Maryland.
That's great. So if you could, first of all, tell us, like, what is this Community College Day? Since we've brought students there probably for many, many years, and it's a fabulous experience. So if you could continue on.
Oh, absolutely. So, so the NIH, we have two different components. We have the extramural component, which we fund a lot of research across the US, across the world, but we also have the intramural programs. And so the intramural program is NIH actually funds its own research. And so we have a number of intramural programs for students. And one of the programs that we have is the NIH Community College program. And so within that NIH Community College program, there are two components. And so one of the components is the Community College Summer Enrichment Program, which is part of the NIH Summer Internship Program. It allows community college students, provides an opportunity for students to come to the NIH for the summer. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. But they come to the NIH for 10 weeks. It's a paid internship. They conduct full-time biomedical research with a research mentor. And the way that we like to get the word out about the Community College Summer Enrichment Program is our outreach component, which is the NIH Community College Day. And this is a fabulous day because the whole goal of the NIH Community College Day is to provide an opportunity really for community college students as well as faculty to become aware of all of the resources that NIH has to offer. And also we want to make sure that we provide students options in understanding the various career paths that are in STEM. And so we have panels on careers in research, careers in non-research areas. So some students may be interested in education or policy. And then we have careers in nursing. And so we have really, I think about 7 or 8 panels. We also do scientific talks for the students. And so if you are a community college student and you're interested in science, but you have no idea, you know, maybe which path you're interested in, you want to have an opportunity to kind of meet other professionals that are in various paths that are at the NIH. That is why we have NIH Community College Day. And so as part of that day, we also talk about and recruit students for the Community College Summer Enrichment Program. And so we try to have it the same time. We try to have NIH Community College Day the same time every year. We'll be going into, I think, our 13th year. As you mentioned earlier, I can't believe how fast time goes. But it's always the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So I think this year it may be Tuesday, I think it's like November 22nd. I'll double check, 2022. And so it's a full day. It may be virtual again. I hope not. I would love for it to be in person. It usually is an opportunity also for students and faculty to come on campus and to really kind of see all of the facilities and things that we have on campus. But if it is virtual, we'll try to make it worth the time for the students to come and make some connections virtually.
And I can contest that. My students have come, I've come with them for many years, and it has always been such a valuable experience, even for those students who don't apply to the summer program. There's just so much valuable information that you guys disseminate. And
Yes.
When you've had tours of the clinical center or the library, students always get very excited about that as well.
Yeah, and it is, and I just want to mention it is, you know, there's a registration, but everything is definitely free of charge. There is not a paid registration, and it carries a lot of great energy. And so it's for all students, all levels. Some students we have, they may be even non-science majors, but they're just interested in learning more. And so we want to make sure that we open it up to everyone.
And it's wonderful. I was wondering if you could just sort of take us to maybe, you know, the website and show them how to, show them what's available and how to register. And also, let's talk about some of the other programs, because we have a lot of non-traditional students that might just be taking a class with us, but are so interested in coming to NIH and working at NIH.
Excellent, excellent. So what I will do is I'm going to share my screen and just kind of take you to some of our programming, to our website. Let's see if I have it here. And I just shared it with you not too long ago, so.
Yeah. So on that green button on the bottom, that should pop up.
I see it there. Let's see here. Okay.
We know it works. We know it works.
Yep, you know how. There we go. We found it. I had so many things open.
Great.
So here is our website. So within the NIH, the office that I work in is the Office of Intramural Training and Education. And the overall goal of our office is, of course, we provide programs for students who are interested in coming to the NIH at the various levels, from high school students all the way up through undergrad, graduate school, and medical school. So we have a number of training programs, as well as we just in general, we offer support to all of the trainees. And so as you can see, you just saw this wellness and resilience banner comes up. And so just to kind of share a little bit about what we offer in terms of the training programs, but also just in terms of training altogether. We have really a philosophy on students who come to the NIH. We want to make sure that you develop scientifically, as you can see, career stuff. We want to make sure that you develop professionally as well as personally. And so we have a number of resources for students who are at the NIH or who may not be at the NIH, especially if you're thinking about your long-term goals of graduate school, professional school, looking for jobs, working on your CV, resume, and cover letters. And so I just want to, put in a plug for all of the other resources that we have at the NIH. And so if you go to the www.training.nih.gov/Community College Day, you can find information. I probably need to update it. This was from last year, but this will be updated whenever we get closer to the date. This year it will be around November 22nd. This will take you to all of the programming. You can see what programs we have, and then there will be a link to register. And so I will make sure that whenever the registration opens and we have the program, I usually will send an invite to all of the area community colleges, sent to all faculty. And so I'm sure that you will forward them to all of your students. So in terms of the programs that we have at NIH for training, if you go to the main website, training.nih.gov, you go here to training programs and go to prospective NIH trainees, you can see a plethora of programs that we have. And there are so many programs, as I mentioned, from high school all the way up through graduate and medical school. For the Community College Summer Enrichment Program, we are under the umbrella of the Summer Internship. So if you go here and you click on Summer Internship, it will take you to a website and it talks to you about the general NIH Summer Internship Program. Now, this program is for all students from age 17 all the way up through graduate or medical school. But in addition to the general summer internship program, we have a number of sub-programs. And the purpose of these sub-programs are really for students who may have specific interests. And so you can go here and see, all of the different sub-programs, but for today, I want to focus just on two of these programs that I think your students may be interested in. So we have CSEP, which is the Community College Summer Enrichment Program, and I think I mentioned that earlier. So if a student is interested in coming to the NIH through the Community College Summer Enrichment Program, you can visit this website and read about the program. Of course, this is for 2022 and the application is closed, but the application usually will open mid-November. So around really around Community College Day. Around that time, you want to visit this website. It'll be updated for 2023. And it will have information regarding, the application and things of that nature.
So could a person be not a full-time community college student and apply for this?
Right,
They're just
exactly.
taking a one-off class, or?
Yes. So that's a good question. So if you look at, if you go down and you look at the eligibility requirements, you can see that students should be U.S. citizens or permanent residents. And we say enrolled at least half-time in a community college. And so that may mean you may only be taking maybe 1 or 2 classes at the community college, or you can be full-time. You must be at least 17 years of age, and you must have a minimum GPA of 3.0 or above. Now, students, I know that some students are in dual programs. So Jill, you mentioned, so they can, if they're taking 1 or 2 classes, that's fine, but they cannot be at a 4-year institution and taking 1 class. So if a student is a University of Maryland at College Park student, but they're just coming to Nova to take 1 class, then they would not be eligible. So they have to just be mainly just at a community college.
But you also have a summer internship program for 4-year.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to talk about that next. So for the Community College Summer Enrichment Program, these are the eligibility requirements. And I do want to mention that you do not have to have previous research experience. The goal of the Community College Summer Enrichment Program is to provide that opportunity for students who have not had the opportunity. Now, if you have had some research experience, let's say you may be in a small biotech program, or you may have just conducted, a smaller project, but you haven't really attended in a really like a research-based institution or a government institution and conducted full-time research. This is what this program is for you. And so many students, I want to say that because many students say that, oh, I shouldn't apply because I have never done research. Well, we want you to apply. And there's a lot of information here. For information on how to apply, the website is online. Right now it's not active. It will be active in mid-November, but there will be a link for you to apply now. The application is very straightforward. You just will need to list your experiences in terms of your resume, list your grades. I always say to make sure that you include any math or science. We know that some students may be non-traditional, so that means that you may actually have an undergrad degree. It may be a non-science degree, and you're, starting over or pursuing a different path. That is totally okay. So but we still want you to include that in your application. We want you to put, yes, I have an undergrad degree, a non-science degree, or sometimes we have immigrants who may have in your home country, you actually may have a degree or a career path, and you've recently immigrated into the US and you're starting over and taking courses. That's okay as well. So the program is open, but if you are newly immigrated, you still must have a permanent resident card in order to apply to the program. I will talk to you a little bit about maybe special volunteer opportunities if you are not a U.S. resident or permanent U.S. citizen or permanent resident. But the application is straightforward. You will need 2 letters of recommendation. Those letters of recommendation should be academic, from one of your professors, and then you will have to have a cover letter. And the cover letter should really just kind of talk about what your career goals are and why you want to be a part of the program. We have a YouTube channel. I would really encourage you to look at the YouTube channel on applying successfully to CSEP. We also have FAQs. So if you have a lot of questions about CSEP, we want you to make sure that you're able to kind of visit this website as well. For those students who are, you may be at a community college, you're transferring to a four-year school, or you are currently at a four-year school and you're just maybe taking a class at the community college, so you wouldn't be eligible for CSEP. There is another program that I am the director of, and that program is CSOAR, College Summer Opportunities to Advance Research. So the eligibility requirements are very similar. I actually usually have both cohorts together, CSEP and CSOAR students together. So it is really pretty similar to CSEP, except that the students are attending at least half time at a US college or university at the time of submission. And so application is the same. You still have to have 2 letters of recommendation. You still have to have a cover letter. You do not have to have, again, you do not have to have previous research experience. If you have a significant amount of research experience, I would say that you should apply to the general NIH summer internship program and not one of the sub-programs. If you do not have research experience, or if you have very little research experience and you know that you could benefit from being a part of a cohort, I would say that you should definitely apply to CSEP if you are currently community college, or CSOAR if you would be in at a 4-year college or university. Again, you will conduct full-time research. I actually will match you with a research mentor based on your interests. We have an orientation, a 1-week orientation. The program is usually from June until August. So it's a 10-week paid summer program. You are paid according to your educational level. And you participate in a number of activities in addition to conducting research that focuses on leadership, scientific skills, and things of that nature. We have a whole entire building resilience and wellness program as well. So these are the 2 main programs, the CSEP and CSOAR. Many of you will say, well, how do I find out about research mentors? You are not required to contact research mentors for these programs. However, it will help for you to just do some reading about NIH and about some of the research that's ongoing. And so, Jill, I am happy to share information about looking for, looking at, the types of research that's ongoing at NIH and looking at the different principal investigators.
So if somebody doesn't qualify for sort of any of these programs, but they're just like, I want to volunteer in a lab. I know I don't qualify.
Right.
What is their, how do they go about that? Where did they start?
Okay, so if you look at these and you're like, okay, what I would want you to do is definitely email. I would definitely want them to email me just to be sure, because sometimes people say, oh, I don't qualify, but you never know. But there are special volunteer opportunities, but those are based on whether or not the principal investigator, and that's what we call like the head or lead researchers at the NIH, if they are willing to take a student special volunteer. So the way that you're able to look for special volunteer opportunities is you would have to go to the, I'm gonna have to just go to here, www.nih.gov. So if you go to www.nih.gov, this is our main website for the NIH. And here you see there's all of the different institutes. I would encourage people to just kind of click on the institutes that you may be interested in. and reading about the research that's ongoing. If you would like to really specifically, look for jobs at the NIH, you can click here and you can look for jobs. But if you're interested in maybe special volunteer opportunities, what I would say is to click on labs at the NIH. And then from there, depending upon what you're interested in, you can do keyword searches. So this part, it takes a little bit of work because what you would have to do is just really do some searches and seek out some principal investigators. So you can search a couple of ways. You can look by discipline. So let's say if you are interested in health disparities, that's trending these days, Jill. So I'm going to click on health disparities. And then if you want to look at principal investigators in health disparities. And so you see a nice little oversight here. They talk to you a little bit about health disparities research, but if you want to look at and see a list of all of the investigators who are working on that, you can do here. You can go here and just click. And so sometimes what people will do is just, some folks have a preference. They may want to, you can look by name. You may say, oh, I want to work with someone who has an MD or someone who has a PhD. But if you click on any of the names, you can click on there and the investigator will come up and a nice overview of what they're working on, their research topics. So it looks like Dr. Choi does a lot of work in behavioral health, looking at tobacco use in various populations. And so they give you, these are wonderful sites for each doctor. And so you would just really take some time to read. They give you a little biography. You even see some of the publications. So what I would say is, if you are a student and you're like, I can't actually come to the NIH, as an intern, but I would really like to be a special volunteer. And I would really like to work with Dr. Choi. He's doing some awesome work. What you would do is read about what he's doing. And then here is all of the information, even his email address. So what you would do is email, and then in that email, you want to be very specific. You want to introduce yourself. My name is Erica Barr. I'm currently a student at Northern Virginia Community College. I am looking for special volunteer opportunities. I am reaching out to you because I noticed that you are working in an area of health disparities, and then you want to actually talk to the investigator, what they're, let them know that what they're working on. And then you want to say, I am very interested in learning more about this topic and gaining skills, in population health and epidemiology, whatever skills that you want to gain from that special volunteer opportunity, you want to share that with the investigator, right? And then if you have any experiences, I'm really interested in this because, maybe I come from, a population of, or a community where tobacco use is very high. And, if you have a personal reason or educational reason of why you want to work with them, please put that. So what that does is it lets the investigator know that you're very interested in what they're doing because you've read up on what they're doing. They know that why you want to be a special volunteer with their group, what you're trying to get out of it. And then you say, I would really, if you are available, I would really like to talk to you further about your research interests and different opportunities that may be available. And then you leave your information. And that is what you would do. And so sometimes you may need to do this a couple of times. You may have to put yourself on a schedule and say, I'm gonna email 5 or 6 investigators a day. And I always tell students, put a little spreadsheet together, with the name of the investigator, what area they're working in, what their email address is. Remind yourself a little bit of what they do, why you're interested in working with them and the date that you contacted them. So it does take a bit of organization and a bit of time, but I always say, if you really, really want the opportunity, sometimes the difference between someone getting the opportunity and someone not is the time and the effort that they put into it, right? And I'm also happy to, help with the process. Normally what I would do if you contact me is I will go ahead and get you to do the homework of at least identifying 10 to 20 investigators you're working with, and I'm happy to look over the email, or if you have a mentor or someone that can kind of help and guide you, because you want to make sure that email is the first way of someone knowing who you are. And so that's your first representation of yourself. So you want to make sure that it's pretty good. And we do have a lot of those. If I go back to the training.nih.gov, we have examples of emails and things of that nature. So like here, this is writing a successful application. And so if we go through, so we have a lot of, but these are examples of cover letters, examples of emails, so that people can know like what exactly they should even put in an email. And so that information is all on the website. It's on the CSEP as well as the CSOR website. So that can kind of help and guide you.
What I also really like about it, even if the student isn't necessarily wanting to apply to NIH, you actually have all these wonderful resources that help them learn how to write a resume, that help them learn how to write a cover letter, that help them learn how to do a good interview.
Yes, we do. We do. And not to cut you off, Jill, you're getting me. I'm so excited because we do, like, so if you go to our training.nih.gov, and if you just scroll down on the home page, you see here where it says resources. And so these are all of the resources that we have. And, I think one of those resources, what I would encourage people to do is click on videocast. And then we also have a YouTube channel. These are all of the things that you just mentioned, in terms of writing a successful application, preparing for interviews. If you go to our YouTube channel, I think that you will be able to see we have a playlist of many things that we have. So we want you to be a part of that. And look here, resources for community college students. So you have your own playlist for community college students. And so I'm not going to play it, but here, interviewing skills, a lot of things that we talk about at Community College Day, I put up here. So presenting your accomplishments, interviewing skills, preparing for a four-year college or university. So, we want you to, although you may not be at the NIH, you may say, well, I really don't even have the time right now because, I have other obligations. And so I can't come to the NIH, but I do want to have access to the resources. Even for the summer, if I can show you one more thing. For the summer, if people can't even come for the summer, we have information here. I think, let me see, we have so much, so we have We have things for students who may not be at the NIH. So we have resources for students who are outside of the NIH. Let me see if I can find that. So it's a lot of information. This may be or may not be it. Oh no, that's not it. But I will make sure that I send it because we do have a really nice page for students who may not currently be at the NIH as well. And so we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to have access to the resource. And so I would just encourage all of you to just come to our page and just play around with it. You know, all of these things. Oh, I think here we are here. So programs for NIH summer interns, programs for those who are not NIH summer interns. And so even now, you know, depending upon when you're looking at this, this will still always be available whenever you're looking at this video now or a month from now or whenever, you will still be able to kind of click and see all of the resources that are available for students who are at the NIH and those who are not.
So in addition to the NIH summer internship programs or internship programs at NIH, what about other, you hear about people going to jobs.gov. Is that a good resource for?
Right, so yes, we do. Outside of those programs, we do have one other program I just wanted to mention before we look at the jobs. So because many of the students will transfer to a four-year school, and so we do have the undergraduate scholarship program. So you can also get to that just from the training programs and go down to perspective and look at the undergraduate scholarship program. This program will actually provide a student up to $20,000 per year towards their tuition and fees. And so I encourage the students to just take a look at this page. It is, the eligibility requirements are here. US citizen or permanent resident enrolled at least full-time into a four-year school. So this is after your students transfer to a four-year school. And so we have a high number of students who are transfer students that are accepted into this program. And so I think that is worth, taking a look at it. The program allows the students to, during the school year, they receive the scholarship, and during the summer, they come to the NIH. They are able to renew the scholarship up to 5 years. And then for each year that you receive the scholarship, you do a payback. And that means, so if the students transfer their junior year and they receive funding their junior and senior year of college, then once they graduate, they can come to the NIH for 2 years, receive full-time federal employee benefits.
Fabulous.
And so, yeah, so I just wanted to kind of plug that as well. And so that is called the Undergraduate Scholarship Program. Now, for students who are interested in, looking at other opportunities, maybe outside of an internship opportunity, and they're, interested in specific jobs at the NIH, then they can go back to just NIH.gov. NIH.gov and go down to jobs at NIH. And so if you want to look at the different jobs that are career opportunities at NIH, and everyone has their own area, right? So everything from administrative careers, we have a pathways program that is for students and recent graduates. And then current openings. And so depending upon, what area, what the students, what may be interested in, they can go to this website, Jobs at NIH, and it will really kind of take you to USA Jobs. USA Jobs is so huge that I think coming through Jobs at NIH may be a little bit easier for the students to navigate. And so, yes, and so the Pathways is a really good program as well, because it allows students who may not want to just be in science, they may want to do, more administrative things. Right now, I have a student who was a part of the NIH Community College Summer Program, Monet Farr, and she is actually working in one of the institutes at NIH as an HR representative. And so, she started out in science. She still wanted to stay connected to science, but she wanted to do more administrative type things. And so this is an opportunity as well. So you can get to this site from the www.nih.gov and just read a little bit about all of the opportunities and jobs at the NIH.
This is just absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much, Erica. Is there anything that, that we that I didn't ask you or we might have left out that you think that might be important for our students or our faculty or whatever?
I think the main thing I usually like to leave with is, because a lot of this, I can already hear a question, although the students are not here to ask the questions, but I can already read their minds like, well, how competitive is it to be a part of these programs or to get a special volunteer opportunity? How difficult is it? And, I want to just always tell them not to focus on the level of competitiveness or how difficult it is, but if you're interested and you want to be a part of the program, to just apply. Right? I always say, everything that you do is going to be competitive. So just go into it with the mindset, this is something that I want to do. We go to the website, read about it, start preparing early. Our applications open in November. And so excuse me, let me get some water. Excuse me, sorry. But I want you to start early looking at our website. So if it's something that they're interested in, please, start your application. Even if the application is not open, you can start thinking about what to put in your cover letter. Who do you want to write your letters of recommendation?
Well, thank you so very much. And that was so helpful. So I'll show it to our students that we have this summer, and I'm also going to show it to students in the fall so that they hopefully will come to the community college day and apply as well. And as usual, Erica Barr is just so wonderful and kind and such a great mentor for our students year after year after year. So thank you again. Thank you for talking with us. And hopefully we'll see you in the fall.
Yeah, and they can feel free to contact me, Erica, ERIKA .BARR@nih.gov.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.